Oh, yes,
There we go.
passing of the stand.
Yes.
I was looking at one.
Since we're up, should we do it?
Yes. I pledge allegiance to
To
the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm going to open the select board meeting of January 3rd, 2024. New Year, everyone.
Ah,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
So I need a motion to sign the warrant.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? And whoever was at these meetings has to be the one to make the motion, so I don't know who.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of December 20th and December 22nd.
What are they doing on the 27th?
That was a special
Wasn't
meeting.
that a special
Yeah.
meeting?
Yep, I was there too.
No.
All right, so do I have a second?
Yeah.
All in favor? Were you there?
I don't think, oh, did I come in, was that the one where I
That's-
came in
Yeah, I
late?
think that's the one.
Like very
Well,
late?
then,
Yeah, like, well, the
Because I
first,
thought it was
Dan
6
seconded.
o'clock.
right.
Oh, we were done.
Yeah.
Do you want to give us the sidewalk grant update, Suzette, while we're signing warrants?
That might help. In your packets, in the printed ones is the agreement from the state on the sidewalk project for School Street and a little part of Main Street to make a new one. I reviewed it, found an error on the first page. They've since corrected it. The selectmen can look over it. Once it's authorized, I'll sign it and submit it, and they'll start the, kickoff meeting.
When's that gonna be?
Once this is signed, he'll let me know. They won't do nothing until this is signed. And this is stemming from the sidewalk grant application process that Renee started for School Street and a little part of Main Street by the Old Town Garage and the Dollar, into the Dollar General. Okay.
Yeah,
Do we already have the $34,000 put aside, Suzette?
Yes, we do.
We do, right?
We have
we
And
did,
that's-
with the 20 that was a special
Yes.
town meeting.
Yep, we've
have-
got
Okay,
38,000, I just checked the other day.
okay. And the only other thing I read in on that, and I'm sure with whoever we do for the contractor will take care of, like they, because the other one was Washington Street, it was a state
Yeah.
road, there's all these sub pieces in there that the town will be responsible for all off the state system, and it talks about the survey work and the,
We're not responsible for
Right.
the survey work.
On
Well-
the town road.
Well, it goes into the grant.
Yeah.
It goes
okay,
into-
okay,
in
that's
other
all,
words,
that's all,
Yeah.
because in the
What
other
it
one, I
does
don't
is
think
it
it
goes into the overall cost, and you do have to keep track of that, because when we did the first sidewalk one, I don't think anybody realized that whenever the DOT does any work at all, it's billed to the project.
Yeah,
Right.
So
Oh, yeah.
when, that was one of the reasons why we had to go forward, because we were already something like $70,000 into
Right.
the project
Yeah.
before
Right.
people wanted to bail out, so.
And that all started before any of us were here.
That's right. So Suzette, the best
That
thing
was a
for us
hangover.
to do would be to go on a monthly basis, to go to Orel and make
Yeah.
sure that we know what they're spending.
we've already set up a monthly meeting.
Yeah, so you, okay, good.
Yeah.
I know, you've been on the safe harbor part of it, so.
Yeah, we talked today, had a Zoom meeting today, we set it up, and went over this and asked questions, and, yeah, him and, Mike LaBerge and
Oh, good.
Dakota, I remember the Dakota something, they're all together.
And this is only,
This is just for the first part.
this is
Engineering.
only 170,000, it's
Yeah.
only for the right of ways.
Yeah.
And engineering,
And
preliminary
engineering.
engineering.
Yeah.
That's what the last one was, and
Right.
you know, it started at 400, and
Right.
it's what, at 700
Oh,
somewhere.
yeah.
Well, that's what
Yeah.
they
About double.
had the initial estimated cost for this,
800.
851,000 or something.
Yeah,
But
And
it's
that
gonna-
would have to be accomplished, well, if you think that it's gonna take a year to do this, then I
says
think
2028
and I
when
think-
it expires.
Okay, yeah, but then we have 3 years to start the work or something, if I
Yeah.
read right, you know, so.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
Now, the
so,
one going down School Street, they're gonna bring it out into the road, right? A little more.
they're gonna do what they
we
can.
want to get rid
Yes.
of those nasty little prickly bushes of mine, that would be fine.
See what they're gonna say in this engineering plan, hopefully they're gonna address those issues. And then the only other thing that was in there that I think we need to do is the maintenance after construction
I've
piece.
seen that.
It's yet again, there's gonna be a cost to
Yeah.
staff
To
to do
maintain
this
it.
stuff, because
And
it's
it
around that
includes
snow removal, yearly, upkeep and repairs to preserve year-round public access, just, you know,
You know what's
yet
gonna
another
happen?
thing
We've
that,
already voted to
have-
go forward with this, so.
well, we can
It's
back
enough.
out, there are
Yeah.
options someplace.
Oh, yeah.
What's gonna
But
happen,
you have to pay back what's been spent.
Right.
Well,
eventually,
Right.
they're gonna want all the sidewalks in town cleared.
Yep.
Every storm. I see it coming,
Oh, yeah.
you know, when we started hitting Washington Street, it's gonna go town-wide pretty soon.
It is.
People want the services.
Well, you know, when it comes to that, not that I want to belabor this right now, some towns mandate that you'll get that sidewalk cleaned. If you want the town to do it, you'll need to pay a stipend,
Right, I
Get
know
the
it's a
town do
homeowner
it.
that,
or you're responsible for
Right,
doing it
homeowners.
yourself.
people that own the
And
property in front of the
Yeah,
sidewalks supposed to
that's
clear
right,
it
so
that-
in town proper.
Yeah, so, you know,
That's something
Some
we
towns
could,
have it
that's a
everywhere.
very good
Oh, yeah.
point, we
Yeah.
might, yeah.
Having the
It's gonna-
homeowner clearing their section of the sidewalk.
yeah,
Yeah.
there are two alternatives,
Especially
but
on
you
Water
gotta have it
Street,
done.
especially on the commercial.
And if you don't get it done, you get a fine.
Or ask for help.
Yeah,
This town likes to help. You
well, I
need
think
help?
the challenge is at the Washington Street location, because the state does plow it. And, you know, our guys are plowing our streets, like by the time they get to Washington Street, it can be feet of plowed snow that are like rocks. You know,
Oh, yeah.
that they have to
Oh, yeah.
work that machine down the sidewalk of it, you know, it's a challenge.
Hmm.
Yeah,
yeah, having had my driveway plowed shut right after I
Yeah.
shoveled it, yeah.
depends on
Yeah,
the storm,
I
of
can
course,
understand.
but sometimes it can be, you know, quite something. But,
So next we have sewer abatements, I make the motion, we accept the sewer abatements,
I'll second.
all in favor? There was just an error and an error.
Right.
And the hush fell over the crowd.
Pretty rowdy, pretty rowdy bunch.
I know, I'd like you to keep it down out there.
It's JD rule. People it keeps, so just rough crowd.
Okay, so
Hmm?
the next is town land possibilities. So, a member of the board came to me and on more than one occasion, as Jason, and I believe again, interested in some sort of fair housing, affordable housing, and we were thinking we could take one of the town properties and do what we did with the Grumpy Puffin, or what was the old name of that place?
McGonagall's.
Okay,
Way
McGonagall's.
long ago, yeah.
McGonagall's, where, we put it out to bid with a stipulation that the development of the property was included in whether we accepted or rejected it. So if we could find a piece of property that would be agreeable to a contractor to bring in some ideas for affordable housing, that we would try to do that the same way.
I was looking at a
This
nice,
is just preliminary, and Suzette's, yeah. go
I was
ahead,
looking
Lisa.
at a nice small piece that Dicky just cleaned off right in front of the town garage.
Oh,
Yes,
that's,
yeah.
yeah.
I think that'd be just about perfect
I never
to
thought
start
that.
small scale, to see how it works.
What are you thinking, like duplexes or what?
Yeah.
Jason?
I guess it
think
depends
so.
on the
I mean,
developer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, let them
what we should do
decide.
is like we did down there at McDonald's, is have people come forward with their plans, time frame, what they're
Plus
gonna do.
bid and plans.
Yeah.
And they're open all at the same time. It's private till the day we open it,
But I
and they
mean,
come and present them.
thing is, you can't have economic development without housing, affordable housing. We don't have a workforce
No.
here. And, I see 5 more years down the road who's gonna be out there clamming? If we don't do something
It is,
now, you know?
it's probably one of the hottest topics in this country right now.
Yeah,
Everybody's covering it. What I would like to see, and because I love to travel around the ticket houses, is that, you know, this country was built on pretty ticky-tacky stuff. And it would be nice, and I don't know if we can do it, or if we could throw it out there as a possibility to a college of architects and say, this is your challenge. Create some income housing that is reasonable, that is pleasant to look at, and is not gonna become an eyesore. And that could be a student venture.
I mean, I have a friend of mine right now that's down in Machias, he's doing pretty much the same thing on his own dollar. And, they look nice, they're very nice.
Well, Gretchen Mead did her house herself and had it built to her specifications. And it looks great.
Yeah.
But you need to have something economical and visually better
I just
than
think,
what we see.
I think we have to be proactive and get ahead of the curve with this.
We're behind already.
Yeah, we are.
No, you're
Too
right.
late for that, honey.
No, you're right, Dan, but I mean, you know,
Well,
we gotta
we have
try
to
this.
entice a developer to
Right.
wanna do it,
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
otherwise they would have been here already.
Yeah.
Suzette, did you have any other, I'd like to look at the suggestions of properties.
And are you thinking of involving the state in their funding program?
I think that'd be up to the contractor, but yeah, we should.
Kevin?
Going along with this, LD 2023, which passed a couple of years ago, which is housing density, they're gonna have a meeting on that, and they discuss some of the grants and some of the other stuff. It's gonna be on the 8th in Machias at
Yes.
Sunrise Economic.
Yes,
I mean,
I'm signed up for it.
this is kind of a twofold
I
thing.
took it a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
You're gonna have affordable housing, and you're also gonna take land that is not on the tax rolls right now, and you're gonna put that on the tax rolls.
That's right.
Yes.
And I mean, we need affordable housing here, big time.
I'd like to look at more than one piece of land for
Yes.
suggestion. So,
I mean, I,
Suzette, did you have any other suggestions?
No, because I thought there was a piece of land down beside Monica's Chocolate, but apparently that had been
Yes.
sold.
Oh, yeah.
So
I looked at
I don't
that
have,
too.
there's no other
Yeah.
land that's really big.
Well, how big does it have to be?
I would-
start small, I mean, for the first one.
The unfortunate part is it really needs to be in town, a location where the kids can walk to school, because not everybody has a vehicle. And
Well,
the
I do believe we have
low-income-
buses to the school.
Yeah, the low-income housing
Today.
in Machias, that it's right behind the schoolhouse. They're dated now because they were built with, solar.
Well,
solar
People for
sections
nursing
the
on
Economic
a
Development Committee
traditional
was looking at the old nursing home, but unfortunately the town doesn't own that.
Right.
And
And
If
these-
we owned that, that would be the perfect piece
And
of
if you
property
could-
to work with.
And to rehab,
Yes,
An old
it's too
building.
There's
expensive.
no sprinkler system in it?
Right.
No.
Well, we have to hang on to there's a difference between low income and fair income.
Yeah.
right,
You know, if we're looking at fair income housing, which is
Moderate,
pro,
yeah.
you know,
family.
working people,
Yes,
that
I think that's what we're looking at.
versus,
The one
you
in
know.
Machias that I'm talking about, people work in the paper.
Right, no, I'm just saying categorically wise, like grant wise and, you know,
Yes.
classification, there's low income and there's fair income. And I know that the state has some new program out, because evidently the state has, 200 and something billion in excess funds
They're flush with
this
cash.
year and
Yeah.
predicted for the same.
We'll take some.
And,
Well, they're
well,
still
they're
8%
supposed to, revenue sharing is supposed to increase, so you should get some. And, there is a bill about housing, it's like, our dilemma is everywhere. You know, you talk to Whiting or Pembroke or
It's a national issue.
Baileyville, or, you know, like, nobody has enough
Yeah.
housing. And nobody, coming up is very hard to buy a house and
Yeah.
be competitive in that.
Would
like
you
it
say that
really is.
piece of property in front of the garage is more
I
than an
think
acre?
that'd be-
Oh, it's more than an acre.
Oh, yeah.
It's like 2 or 3 acres.
I would say
is
at
it?
least 2 acres.
One of the programs that they had, I don't know if they're still having it to qualifier, but they were looking at like 4 family homes, like, they see that as like a step towards fair income housing, and that's why they did that law last year that allows for second residence in already established property, like you can put a second residence on your property
On
beside
the-
your main house, and that was
supposedly to help
Controversial.
address the housing
Yeah.
challenge,
What do
you know, so.
What do you think about that property, so close to Legion and having families with kids?
They're not old enough to go drink, so.
Well, that and the Legion shuts down so early.
Yeah,
at
they,
night.
they're 9
It's a
o'clock.
non-issue in my
I think it
opinion.
would be important too to keep in mind that you might wanna, I think an appealing
Yeah.
thing would be.
What was that?
People live all around the Legion that have little kids,
That's true.
right? Yeah, I mean,
And I think we might wanna think about like town water and sewer.
I think
Absolutely.
the point
Town
about,
land
I think the point about close to town is
Right, you know,
well
that
made, though,
allow
too.
How
that.
far does the sewer go to the Legion?
No, to the yellow
Yellow
apartments.
Yellow
apartments.
apartment.
But the water runs all the way up.
So
Yeah, I
is there
have
any
no
piece of property within the sewer district that we've done, not even?
There is, but they're all like .3, .1,
Small.
like little
Who,
pieces.
does Margaret Brown and her son still own the?
Yes.
Cyrus in there,
Yeah.
Do you think that they're approachable? I mean, would they, I mean, in some
They
ways
have to
it
be
could be,
very approachable with way
Yeah,
lower price.
yeah.
I mean,
well, it
super
could be a
low
tax
price.
write-off too. I mean, and I don't know the ins and outs of that.
Well, depending on who's
When-
buying.
when we were
you know,
trying to
Well,
do it as a dormitory and work with the high school,
Yes,
remember?
yes.
We tried that, which
That
would
was
have
a long
been good.
time ago, yeah.
I know, a long time ago.
That building
I don't
was
know if their price
laid
come
vacant
down.
for a long time.
It's not
Has it
exactly
come
a
down,
viable
the
building
price?
for many things.
No,
I know
no,
last
then
was
you're
the-
right.
was
It would be
the-
apartments.
300, it was 60,
I had once
60,
thought of it
600.
like,
Oh, I don't know.
people
I
who
don't
live in
Anybody
out of
know?
town
Is
Do
that-
you
places
remember what the
in
last
town,
nursing home price was?
Semi-retirement, you know, like condos.
Yeah, I was gonna say 500, I think,
Four
right there.
seventy-five.
So
Well,
that's
then-
just not,
That's
that's not
not
doable.
feasible, right, that's
No,
not.
feasible.
no, by the
That's
time
not-
you put,
Is there any,
you can have a million, then what will you ever do anything?
Our jacket.
well, is it more?
I think the new,
No.
I think to get somebody in here and do a new construction is the way to go. I mean,
I think a plan, I think
yeah,
we need a plan.
definitely. And-
Okay,
and-
so
I
let's
mean,
have a
for-
little vote if we wanna go forward. I make a motion that we go forward with town-owned
Discovery.
land and development purchases for affordable
I'll
housing.
second.
All in favor?
As far as the
That's
state,
Suzanne.
is they'll fund up to near 80% of the bill,
Right.
but they, each unit has to be $285,000.
Yep.
Um,
That's not hard to get
And-
now.
No, but they'll fund a great deal of it, but the rates are double, they're now at 8%.
Okay.
So again, and there's a lot of stipulations, but you know, you only had to take, I think it was like 60 or 70% of that loan would be forgiven.
See,
So it was quite an incentive.
Yep,
That
absolutely.
does sound pretty
Yeah.
good.
There is, and.
I
we
can
have to
share
pitch
that
that
with you
to the
guys, I have a couple
developer.
emails.
Right, and that's
We
the only
can't
piece
do-
of
we
it, is
cannot
like,
be
once it's
landlords.
built and
And-
people are
No,
living
No,
in it,
town is
it's
not
that-
in the property management.
Right, it's,
business.
we're not, yes,
I
the
think your
property
point-
management and the ownership and the,
Well, and
Yeah.
that's what the state said.
Right,
There
you
is
know,
a process,
it takes an investment of somebody,
Yeah.
you know, into the future.
but I think your point about affordable versus low is one to make.
it
Yes.
needs to be
Yep.
affordable.
That is really affordable.
It does, yeah,
Because
I
there's a
agree.
distinction.
I
There
can
is
tell
a
you,
distinction.
I raised 4 kids here, and 30 years ago it was damn hard. I've got 10 grandchildren here now,
Mm.
and I see when the kids go through raising their families, it's tough.
But it,
And
but
what
it's
did you
not,
do in your free time?
What's this?
That's the,
What did we do?
all the back property.
Oh, those are all the properties?
Yeah.
Oh.
Acreage is down in the
Yeah.
lower right
But
corner.
if you guys want those emails from the state, I can send
Yes.
them. to you.
acreage is down in
Send
the
you
lower
some.
I
right
have
corner.
Appointment papers?
Yeah, yes, down in the lower right corner, it says like total acreage .47
No, I don't see you.
on this sheet here.
On this-
Oh, no,
Oh, on
this
this
is
sheet,
these
oh,
ones.
okay.
These
Saying
ones.
there's
I
nothing
wondered
within
why we
town
had these,
sewer
and I
and
was
water.
trying to find that.
The old town dump?
0.46.
Town dump is probably the biggest lot.
Yeah, but is it buildable?
No.
No,
No,
that's
build
what
on
I'm saying,
it.
that,
Well, yes, you can put solar panels on it.
Oh.
What a great idea.
yeah.
Oh, you can.
When you
Yeah.
refer to the town dump, you're talking about by the former real estate office out here?
No,
No, out
that's
on,
down Blue Cove.
Okay, all
Why
right.
does it have, oh,
That's
previous
good.
owner?
The dump road.
Did you
Yeah.
think there would, I just,
I followed
where are
them
the
out of the
addresses
way-
on
way
these
this morning.
things?
These
Suzanne?
don't,
You
it's
went all the way
just
to
at
Orange
the
Lake.
top, like North Lubec Road is the top first one.
and I'm sorry, tell me again where on this is
Oh, this is
this
South
land?
Lubec.
Because I was looking for that.
I've got South Lubec as the
Oh,
first one.
Jesus, like really right there, not in a little box. All
No,
right,
they don't.
thank you very much.
So
South Lubec, Blue Cove Road, is that the one you're talking about, Carol?
No, I'm looking at the actual printouts, and the
Oh,
next one,
this.
the next one is South Lubec Road.
No, don't go
here's
by
the
this,
search
these
list.
aren't in order. This was just a printout, so I
Okay,
know what
so
accounts.
can we go with this order here of the?
Yeah, that's the one we're looking at.
Okay, well, we can't do the dump. South Lubec Road, there's 2 acres. Where's that? Does anybody know?
That's
Previously
that
owned-
bison field, I think.
I think it's by the S-turns.
I think it is too.
Jerome
Yeah.
has.
Yeah.
I think there's a
There's
fire hydrant there.
There's a new house built.
There's a
built
fire
over there.
hydrant, I think that lot is there.
2 acres, 2 acres.
Am I thinking the right spot? Right by the parking, there's a new parking spot in the,
Oh, across the road,
yeah,
that might be it.
I
Isn't that wetland?
That's, I'm
No,
on
below it is, below it is.
We used to ride four-wheelers down.
Yeah, and I think
So we're not
Dallas,
gonna look
Dallas
at
has a
anything
piece
that's
there, and
below.
Joanne's is behind there. I think that's right there.
That is a town.
I just printed
That's good
everything.
spot.
What about over there that used to be the
But
Ten
no
Commandments?
water.
That road. Is there any property over there?
It's all privately owned, I believe.
Back where the workers of the fish factories used to work, down there around,
I tore a house down there for a gentleman, and I think it's all owned, all the lots.
it's all owned.
I do believe.
Brownsville?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's all owned by private people.
I
There's
like
a
the
nice
idea of
little
the,
spot down in there behind
some of
where
the
mine is, where mine is.
road.
County road, there's 5.5 acres, what's that?
It could be a town, where it's, when you get to acreage,
5.5 acres,
That
I
could
don't
be the
see the
town
map of
where
the lot. Map 2519A,
I'm thinking that, is that,
that's the only one that's got more than an acre, besides the 2 acre one on South Lubec Road.
let me look at the tax map, see if I can figure it out, hold on just a second.
Okay, the tax map is 2519-A, 00A,
Hold on just a
County Road, and it doesn't, we've always owned it, it says. Doesn't have a previous owner.
am I looking? Oh, where did it go?
Notes in Rockland.
I know, I'm thinking it's-
May 2010.
Tax map.
That's just the shoreline, so you, this might be, is this the property behind the garage?
That's, it could be,
Quite
hold
a
on.
few- quite a
Well, I
bit-
thought
quite a bit of
that's
ground
already
there.
that's already under lease. So you haven't found it yet? You should put the tax map in so we can look at it.
Pretty much what we ought to do is identify
That, I
something.
think that
Well, I
is
think we
the,
need to identify 2 or
that
3 of
is-
these, and then I think maybe we put them all out with everybody looking at 3 different ones and who gets the best one.
Take a field trip and go look at them and see what's
Wait.
most feasible.
Did you find where it
this
is?
one is, the town, what's that thing called? Gravel pit by the sea view.
Oh, the gravel by the sea.
I looked at that and I remember,
You mean, isn't that the
That's low
dump
line
now?
though, isn't it?
well, kinda like where you dumped
It's not a
the,
dump.
That's like
Oh,
low line, though, I don't think
landscape
anyone's
Yes,
gonna build
yes.
there.
It's what?
Organic, right?
yeah.
It hasn't rained and fell.
Right,
Yeah,
I mean, like,
yeah.
you know, that's.
Corey Lane on
water.
the opposite side.
Yeah, Dan, you were right about that one in South Lubec, it says by Pikes Puddle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right
So
across
that's,
the,
yeah,
by that hydrant.
yeah, that's a nice,
It's
that's a
dry.
nice piece of land, yes it is.
Yeah.
And that's 2
Is
acres.
there sewer
That's
there, or
enough
is it
to-
just water?
There's no
No,
sewer going down South
Just
Lubec.
water?
Water, yeah.
There's water though, town water down,
Yep.
going down South
The water
Lubec.
goes all the way up to Dick Whit's place.
Yes,
Oh, good, okay.
you can't ask for much more than town water anyway, I mean,
Well, it's
it's
a
close.
gorgeous spot.
Yep.
To boot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that, and I love the road cruise lot too.
Yeah,
I
so
think
those
that's a
two
great
Yeah,
option.
somebody did such a nice job of cleaning it off.
You
That's
did bit
right.
yourself in the butt, no, just kidding, Dick.
So, okay.
I heard you
So
call
we're
it
gonna
the
go
most
Good
for,
option.
so why don't we, table this for further and
Yes.
Should take a look at it.
we'll take a look at them.
Yes.
Are we gonna have an update from Mr. Huntley? I'd like,
We can.
Is he on the
We
agenda?
can have a Huntley. We can have a Huntley. We can have an update from Mr. Huntley.
well, we'll just put him under other business.
Other
Mr.
business.
Huntley, what do you
Well, we
have?
just have one other thing anyway. We just have one other thing that we were gonna do, other business. We'll do the appointment and then have.
Oh, that's right.
Talk, because then we're going into executive session.
An appointment paper, I thought about that.
Just so we can on this text.
Yeah, we did.
One more thing for you to do.
care, I wanna be on that one. So, we need, a motion to put me on the tax committee,
Motion.
so I can make
I
the
would,
motion.
I would move that you go on to the tax committee.
And Jason, seconded, and they didn't vote yet, so all in favor or no? I'm not voting.
What is the tax committee?
It's, Jason, what's the official name of it?
I'm Dan.
Oh, what did I call you, Jason? Did I call you Jason?
Yeah.
We've talked about it before, we're just looking at the,
Excuse me, but is this what
He's
was
a little
talked about
short.
during this meeting, the undisclosed meeting?
undisclosed, there isn't, there's been no
The
undisclosed.
off-schedule meeting?
The executive one?
Yes,
No.
Are you talking about your committee?
Yes.
So it's not called the tax committee,
Okay.
it's called the Economic
Impact.
Impact
Subcommittee.
Committee. It's an already existing
Yeah.
subcommittee.
Yep.
And we're appointing Carol
As an
to
alternate.
join, somebody left, or we're putting a.
She's
Alternate,
traveling.
just an alternate, because one's traveling and they want me on there anyway, so I figure I'll be alternate. 'Cause Becky's
I'll be,
away for a
you
while.
have a meeting the 8th, right?
Yep, 5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Yep.
I'll be there.
There'll be a third meeting. We're already talking
And
about
then we
action
have
items,
Shellfish
which is
after
good.
that. Shellfish is right after that meeting.
What an
Yes, so-
exciting day.
Okay,
Okay, you're
so,
not signing that.
we're done with the regular agenda, so committee updates, no, so, Vicky, do you have something for us? You wanna tell us?
The only thing I really have is, everything's ready to go for any,
Snow.
any upside weather. Been trimming right away as the weather's been permitting. We've cleaned up a lot of the blowdowns. We moved out of Lubec with the excavator because there was too many heavy blowdowns to do with by hand. So we moved it to the Boot Cove Road and cleaned up a bunch there, and when we come out, there's been a lot of issues and complaints about maple trees, so we've got that probably 70%, maybe a little better than 70% done. And then we're gonna, while we're still at an Lubec, we're gonna run back to Karen Place Cove, the intersection of the dump road and where you go towards Porty Head. We're gonna clean that up a little bit. Now the lines are all back up in the air. We're gonna go to lead mines and clean that mess up that's in there. And then we're gonna work our way back up to Lubec to get that completed. So that's probably the rest of the winter for trimming.
Did we ever get anything on Doherty Lane?
I've been up there a couple different times. I went up and scraped it the best I
Okay,
could once.
Okay.
It's just the road bases are down so bad, what
Right,
potholes
and
there
it's only that, you know, the homeowners past our
Yeah.
slight beginning have invested and done a superb job on that
So,
road, and it's our little piece in the
I'm
beginning.
I'm hoping that we can get one more round
Okay, cool.
before winter really
Right,
sets
and I
in.
think that would make them real happy before, like, there's any real snow or anything.
I was able to do
Sticking out. You looked at-
Lions Road, Straight Bay, the Doherty Road,
Right, okay,
but it's
cool.
still so wet,
Right,
it's getting quite mucky.
Because I know that was a concern, come snow and cloud.
But I'm glad we're mentioning that, because one of the other concerns, and, you know, all these homeowners and people that live on these dirt roads, we spent a lot of time and effort last summer and fall. We put a fair amount of work in the Lions Road,
Oh, yeah.
and every time I drive by there, somebody's blowing donuts with four-wheelers in the end of that. So they're quick to call you and make complaints about the shape of the conditions that the roads are in. They need to start paying attention to who's tearing their own roads up,
Right.
because
Absolutely.
they tear it up and they expect us to come
I'm
back.
glad you said
That's a
that. They
very
don't,
good
they
valid
don't
point.
need to be calling us. They need to be calling the town office.
But you know what when I
Right.
say you folks, I
Yeah.
mean, they don't call me some people do, they call me personally, but I mean, it comes through either the town office or you guys. But still, you know, it's nonsense that, you know,
Oh, no, I know.
that we put the work, we go and we put the work into this for the folks, and then this is happening.
Well, I'd like to say, I've been on all the roads that you've trimmed, and they look amazing. I lived down the end of North Lubec Road for 30 years, and I've never seen that road look so good.
Well,
The other morning, when the frost was coming out of it, the sun was actually had a chance to melt the road. It's gonna save us salt, sand, And I did a little, I got a hold of a friend of mine in the state, how much they spent per mile to do the Wilcox Road, what you fellas are doing. So I rode around and I did the mileage of what you fellas did, and I figured out you damn near paid for half that excavator just in the trimming work you've done since you
What
had
is it by the mile trim work by the state? Did you get a figure?
Oh, yeah, actually 20 grand, you know, even 20 grand they paid out there.
I mean, it's appreciative. And, you know, it comes down to the fact of being able to have the equipment to do the work with.
Yep.
That's all, that's what it takes.
Again, I remember your father trying to ditch with a W9 loader in North Lubec.
For the amount of area that we're covering in the run of a day right now, a regular full-blown crew with chainsaws and chippers couldn't put out what we're covering. So it's really appreciative to have the tools to be able to work with.
And you don't have to worry about Lyme disease or anything like that.
A couple other things real quick is, Suzette and I's got a meeting with Weston Heron. I don't know if you guys have heard of him or not. He works for the Sunrise Economical thing, and he's gonna be working with us on a
Heron
coming,
Weston.
uh,
Yeah, Heron's his
Yeah.
first.
Heron or whatever his
Heron,
name is.
like the
Yeah.
fish.
Yeah.
Or the
So
bird.
he's coming down Friday to work with us on a DOT grant for culvert replacement. One of the ones I'd like to see done is the Bailey's Mistake, Boot Cove.
Yeah.
One's down there, that's a mess. And the bottom of, Pearson's Hill up in North Lubec.
Oh yeah, that's in bad shape.
I'd like to, and he said he knows of one or two that he could put an idea in for us too, so we're gonna meet with him Friday morning, mid-morning on that. It's what, February, the deadline on that, I believe,
No, January 19th.
Oh,
January
geez.
19th.
No, yeah, oh,
Whoa.
yeah.
Cut me close.
Now, what is that, Dickie? A 5-footer down the bottom of Pearson's Hill? Like a 5
Probably
foot.
close,
Yeah, that's a big culvert. A lot of
And-
water.
yes.
Something we should be looking into,
So,
that grant.
it's a couple of things that, we're on it.
We've already on it. I've had a Zoom meeting, and there's an
Yeah.
application that we've already started.
So, and he's just coming down more or less to assist and answer questions and.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're
What's
a good
going on?
person on the 19th.
He had 15
He's
questions.
Janet
for
Weston.
it.
Oh, well,
That's
did
it.
we need
Gotta
to
be
sign
good.
anything?
Not yet,
Couldn't tell you.
it's just like an application.
And then,
preliminary.
Oh, it's,
The only other thing that I know is there has been an application submitted for Public Works.
Oh, wow.
So, whenever
Get him in, we'll interview him.
you wanna
Oh,
schedule
yeah,
that.
don't see what you mean, but, yeah, I was not talking, I thought he was talking about roads, I'm thinking of roads,
Oh,
right,
righty.
where, huh? Wait, yeah,
so we did get an application?
yes, we got one today,
Oh,
and that's why you guys didn't notice it came in,
Oh,
3 o'clock.
Hey, Vicky, there's one little, giant branch on Pleasant Street by the old monument, by the old,
The old fire department.
right
lot.
across from Dan's property, but it's sticking way down the road. And
Okay,
That
I mean, it's
maple-
only sticking out a little, but if you come by with a plow, you're gonna wreck the plow.
okay, we'll look at it in the
If you
morning.
came off that, one of those big maples.
Yeah.
The maple.
Okay, we'll look at it in the morning.
It's not anything that's gonna bother a car, but it's gonna bother your plow.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to avoid right now, is just to at least get it out of.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned the cemetery up to Mill Hill in North Lubec too, and
Too wet.
it is, we gotta get some cold weather before we can
Yeah.
tackle that, so.
You demolished that.
I
Yeah.
can tell you the damage from this last storm surprised me.
Yeah,
I mean, we have our own cemetery, same thing, trees all through it. I hadn't seen anything like it.
it's everywhere, I mean, it's phenomenally amount of trees down, and I mean
Another
big ones.
unknown, unnamed storm
Yeah.
that just wreaked havoc.
I mean, some of them are uproots, but some of them are just breaking trees right completely off.
Yeah, mine, a lot of ours were snapped right in half, and then the whole root system.
I haven't seen anything like that for about 30 years up
When
there.
you're blowing
And some of the
93 miles
brakes
an hour.
were twisted. Did you notice?
Once you were down at the
Yeah,
end.
so it's not just a
190
straight
down
shear.
there.
That's a twist.
And it's pretty phenomenal, that
Down there.
the day that storm happened, and it's happened both storms, the September one and this past
Is
one,
that up?
Yeah.
down to,
Up there.
the back road down there to Whale Lane,
Yeah.
where how that comes right in out of Boot Cook. I would love to fly over that, because I would guarantee you that goes right straight as the crow flies
Uh-huh.
into,
Oh, that whole patch of Boot Cove where all the trees just like
and
they're
then
gone.
I
That's
know it
crazy.
goes straight across to where the damage was in the lead mines, and goes right
It's
straight
like
through
a
the straight
whirlwind.
bay, and
tornado kind of thing.
It was certainly a pre-tornado.
It's phenomenal.
Something
Yeah,
strange.
yeah.
It really is what
Yeah.
Mother Nature will
What
do.
is it, 93-mile-an-hour winds that were clocked in?
Continuous at
I had
dance.
sustained 90 plus at Bailey's.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm sure there's a
Anything
lot
over
more,
75 doesn't matter.
but
That's
Right.
right. My house
60,
was
60.
in a
frosted.
nutshell,
Typical.
everything's
Yeah.
going well, everything's holding together, so
You can just say that.
we'll keep plugging
Yeah, you
away.
don't say that, knock on wood.
Good.
Well, thank you. So, we're gonna go to committee updates and then we have executive session. Then we have executive session. Do you have any-
Well,
Updates.
Economic Development Committee is meeting this Tuesday, I think. And Martha Howell emailed me and said, have you seen this thing on Facebook? Somebody had asked about, made a comment about exactly what we were talking about, housing. And why doesn't the town do it, and blah, 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 blah. And so she responded, and pretty soon, everybody was responding to her. So we're having a meeting on Tuesday, and hopefully, many, many people
And
will
what
come.
time is that? It's in the middle of the day,
It's
isn't
at
it?
1 o'clock.
3 or 1 or 5 o'clock.
It's on the tenth, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wednesday.
1 o'clock.
okay.
Monday's the 8th.
Alright.
That's okay.
My calendar's filled.
Wednesday at 1.
I can't make midday meetings.
Yeah,
It's hard.
no.
No. And people said that on Facebook.
Yeah, but,
They
and
can't.
Martha did answer back too, that, the
Talk
committee
is-
has met at various different times, starting to, and it went to 1 o'clock, was business people told us it couldn't
Yeah,
be.
I think the only
like-
committee in the 8, 9 years, 10 years I've been here was RFP, the RLF, the
Yeah.
RLF committee, and they met like at 4, but otherwise it was always after 5 o'clock, all of them.
Anyway, as my mother used to say, talk is cheap.
The Chamber of Commerce back in the day, that was in the afternoon.
The Chamber of Commerce had nothing to do with the town.
No, I know, but it was the same people that the Economic Development Committee was trying to entice to meeting.
That thing's
One o'clock.
kaputzy anyway.
No, but I'm just saying the Economic Development is good now, anyway. They're not opposed to other times, it's just with the next one.
They
is
need to
1
get
o'clock.
they want business people.
We need involvement.
And they need the same time every month, and that's like when I got here, we changed the office to 8 to 4 every day. It was all over the board. And the committee's shellfish was a different time every month, and you wouldn't get anybody to come. So unless you pick a time monthly of a committee, you're not gonna get people to come.
And know full well that you can't make all the people happy
Yeah,
all the
that's
time.
right.
No, somebody's gonna piss them off.
That's right.
Unless you serve pizza.
Well,
I mean,
that's
no,
right.
There's one too many pepperonis on mine.
Economic Impact Subcommittees, Monday at 5 o'clock. Not to be confused with economic development. But there is some overlap and some parallels, so. We'll look at that as well.
Shellfish is at 6 o'clock on Monday, so.
Remind me, I'll forget. I'm gonna go
To which one?
to his.
Oh.
I can't make it at 1 o'clock.
Why not?
My boss would
Works.
fire me, you kidding me?
Tell her to come.
Back from the phone.
Okay.
She's around.
Get off the phone.
Public comment?
Yes, I have a comment.
Yes.
I would ask the board to consider when holding a special select board meeting, that the conversation and any motions be restricted to the disclosed purpose of the meeting.
And
And
did we
not
not do that?
deviate and come up with things that are unrelated to what was there. I was surprised with the result of the last one. There were 2 motions that I heard about when I asked later about the executive session, and the motions had nothing to do with personnel issues or anything that should have been covered in executive session.
Are you talking about the tax abatement form?
Yes. That would have been perfect in a public hearing, public meeting like this one.
That was already being used, and that was some kind of like an emergency review that was getting, it came up, you probably,
It did tie
right?
into the personnel
It
issue
tied
though.
into the
It did.
personnel
It,
issue.
it
of what
was a
happened.
point of contention between 2 individuals that we needed to address in a private
And
session.
we wouldn't have known, we weren't,
So
we
we-
wouldn't have known.
Ad-libbed at that point, we had to adjust on the fly.
But that's a point.
But it is a
well
good
taken.
point.
That is
Yes,
very
of
good.
course,
Because
and you're
speaking for the
absolutely,
press, it makes me consider whether I'm actually hearing everything about the executive stuff, about the,
Well, we had an executive session for the tax assessor,
well, I know you do that.
and
That's
we
fine.
came out with this as a solution, and if we had waited another 2 weeks to do it in a general meeting, it was time of the essence.
And it was
Hazardous.
contentious too, which,
Well, and the form that we changed, we didn't really change it.
We just added,
We just changed the format and had the addresses put on,
Yeah, it
not limiting just map and lot.
Well,
You know
all
what I
I'm
mean? It
asking
was-
is that you,
yes, absolutely.
you follow what it says in the main open access.
What did we tell, John,
It was-
it was for
It was personnel issues.
personnel issues?
Thank
And
you.
did